Yeah.
Thor?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was going to say that you need your eye. Where's Rocket? Anywhere? No?
Right.
We got Star-Lord.
The rabbit's missing.
We got Star-Lord. We lost
rabbit.
No rabbit.
Okay. Well, my name's Christy Blanche, and I have the honor of moderating this panel, and I'm going to bring him right out, Mr. Charles Martinet.
Yes.
It's Mario.
Whatever you want.
First, let me say, hello, it's me, Mario. Yahoo! You want to come over here, you guys? Because otherwise you're going to be looking at me through a microphone. Come on!
He's good here if you want to sit here,
Let's
too.
take a, I don't know, that whole center's kind of open there. It's reserved.
I mean,
Reserved for attendee who requires ASL assistance. Yeah, I guess you can't sit there. But yeah, come on in here somewhere. And if somebody comes to you, just give your seat up to anybody who needs help. And, oh, I forgot to say, Luigi number one, ha ha! What do you have today, Yahoo! Oh, wait, I forgot Mommy said say something nice. There. When Luigi, everybody cheap with me. And baby Luigi, and baby Mario, let's go! Yahoo! So first of all, I just want to say, thank you very much for playing my games. And thanks for your, enjoyment of the games, because you guys enjoy what I do. People like me get to go around the world and do these fabulous conventions and meet people. So thank you for your enthusiasm, for your joy in the game. Thank you for your dedication to the games over the many years. And also, of course, thank you to Imaginarium for having me. Your enthusiasm encourages them to invite me, and they treat me like a king, and I really appreciate that. So thank you very much. And thank you very much for playing my games. Yeah, and what a pleasure to be in Detroit. It's from my hotel room, I look over the river, and I'm way up on the 65th floor, so I see the river just go into infinity, and it's really spectacular. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous place. It's a wonderful city, and hopefully union labor comes back in great strength in this city and brings back our middle class, because I really feel like we're in the real backbone of America, the people that really make this country fantastic and make this country succeed is the free labor, and not free in the in the no charge way, but the wonderful labor that we've had for so many years. So I am happy to tell you absolutely everything. I can tell you I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I get to do what I love to do in life. I get to travel the world and meet wonderful people. And it's never born, in my case, out of making conscious decision. I never said, okay, I'm going to be an actor. I'm going to be the voice of Mario. Only David Tennant has ever done that. And he was watching Doctor Who, and he said, I want to be him when I grow up. And he did. He did that. But from my perspective, I just wanted to be happy. And I wanted to make people smile with what I did. And now I thought that was going to be being a diplomat in London or Paris. But, as fate and everything would turn, it wasn't being a diplomat, it was being a very, very silly person for a living. So I did 10 years of theater. I did 10 years of doing corporate videos. And then one day I was doing a video, sort of commercial. I was doing the American Gothic painting. I was the farmer. I guess I used to be thin. I was doing the old farmer with a pitchfork and his wife in front of the barn, and we did that for 9 hours, and after that was finally lit to perfection and shot for the 15-second spot, the producer said, great, hey, you do voiceover? I said, yes, I do. I had no idea what a voiceover really was. But I said, yes, I do. And I waited to find out. And he said, well, here's the script. I said, aha, I read the script. That's why it's called voice. Should have known. Okay, Orchard Supply Hardware, the right item at the right price, right now. And he said, great. And I got another $250. And I said, I'm a voice actor. Yippee! And so just by doing that, just by doing what I happened to be doing at the time, was enjoying myself. And that came along, and then I was doing what actors do. I was sitting on the beach waiting for the phone to ring. Of course, in my memory it was a phone, but it wasn't. It was a pager. I was like one of the first actors. I got a pager like in 1982 or something, and I had my little pager there in 1989, 1990, and I paged one off, and I'm like, and it was a friend of mine. And I said, well, I'll go find a phone. So I got off the beach, which is unbelievable for me. I got off the beach, I walked over to the phone, I got on the phone, I said, hey buddy, what's going on? I'm thinking he wants to go eat dinner, because obviously I like food a lot, And he says, well, you gotta go crash this audition. I said, there's absolutely no way I would ever crash an audition. I'm a professional actor. What could be more human? Where should I go? And I had no idea why, but I got off the beach, I went down to this audition, I found one miracle. I got a parking space in downtown San Francisco between 4 and 6 p.m. when it's usually almost everything's a towaway. And yeah, right? That's what I said. Yippee, parking! And I'm walking in the door as the producer and director are walking out the door, the guy with a camera bag under his thing, and I recognized the Sony camera bag, and I said, hi, can I read this? I kind of get in his man, he's like, oh. He looks at his watch and looks at me, he's like, oh. All right, come on in, you can read from this. You're an Italian plumber from Brooklyn, for this video game character, and so we're gonna do a real-time animation system. So you're gonna have these points glued to your face, and when you talk, it's gonna make these roller traction balls move around, and that's gonna translate into a supercomputer that's gonna make this character move in real time. They're calling it real-time animation. Never been done in the history of animation, and we have no idea if it's gonna work or not. So if it doesn't work, I'm not gonna pay you to drink coffee all day. You still gotta talk. So just start talking, make up a voice, make up a video game, whatever you wanna say, and whenever you run out of things to say, that's your audition. And I'm thinking to myself, Italian plumber from Brooklyn, get out of my face, I'm working here. Or something like, man, what's the matter with you here? I'm busy. And I'm thinking, well, I don't want to do something that's kind of coarse and rough, because what if there are kids? I don't know what the audience is going to be. It turns out it was industry professionals. But I thought, I'll do something more joyful. And by good circumstance, I had played Gremio in Taming of the Shrew 10 years before or something. And he said, nice Italian guy, talk like this. I said, well, that's not Brooklyn, but it's kind of Italian. And that'd be kind of fun, and I could make up stuff. Oh, wait a minute, I don't know anything about video games except waka, 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 and that sort of thing. But and of course, the inimitable remember Space Invaders? Not Space Invaders, Asteroids. And we used to play Tank too, and I always lost. I didn't know anything about video games, but I knew about food because I like to eat a lot. And I heard action, and I said, hello, Uncle Mario, let's make a pizza pie together. You go get some sausage, I'm gonna get some spaghetti. You put spaghetti and sausage in the pizza, and then I chase you the pizza. And if I catch you with the pizza, you gotta eat the pizza. And I'm thinking to myself, he's gonna say for sure, thank you very much, next, but no, he does not. So I said, and then, because you have one direction, don't stop. And then, we're gonna make a pizza and you're gonna chase me with a pizza. And then, we're gonna make a lasagna. And we're gonna go down the hill in the lasagna pan. And if you catch me in the lasagna pan, I'm gonna make lasagna and then chase you with the lasagna pan down the other side. And then we're gonna make spaghetti meatballs. And I went through every pasta I could possibly imagine and more. And I just kept going and going and going until about 30 minutes into it, I heard, stop talking, cut, there's no more tape, thank you, we'll be in touch. And I'm thinking, okay, that's the end of that, that means to an actor, there's the door when they say I'll be in touch. But sure enough, I walked out the door, went back to the beach, caught the sunset, went to dinner with my friend, and he called Nintendo and said, I found our Mario, I got him. And that was, I think, 28 and a half years ago, more than almost 29 years ago. And it's been 29 years of absolute joy and fun and learning about humanity, and then teaching myself more and more about the purity of characters. And I love Mario because my characters Always in my life, comedy is, I've always believed, should never be painful. It should never be inflicted on somebody or pushed outward, but always bring back into the character. So I've always tried to do that. And I also believe in creativity through innocence and creativity through joy. You know, through history, we've seen creativity through pain, and in Rodin and Picasso, the tortured artist who just, he has to create because, like the Shakespearean Dark Lady of the Sonnets, it's unattainable love, unattainable art, unattainable, you know, and some people say, without pain there is no art. And okay, that's certainly one interpretation. For me, without joy there's no art. And so I try with all my characters always to bring a sense of joy and a sense of happiness in being. And what I try to do with Mario is create with the broad stroke the emotion of joy and love and happiness and respect for everybody and absolute no judgment whatsoever. You know, really to just make the pure innocence of a child, because as children have no judgment and no discrimination, no sense of any identity except self with the world. I try to do that with Mario, and then with Luigi to bring in just the slight bit of trepidation that comes with the second born. I was the second born, and my brother would like want, you know, if he wanted to get from A to B, he'd go straight there, even if there was a plate glass window there, literally, you know. And I would be like, I don't think we should go outside. Mom didn't say we could go outside, you know. I don't think we should go out there. You know, the babysitter didn't say we could go out, you know. Come on, let's go, come on, you know. So I'm a lot more Luigi, you know. But then, you know, I also try to look at emotions like Waluigi, for example. There's a character that has self-pity, and out of self-pity, there's always that sense in our real life, a real emotion of, well, nobody loves me good enough, therefore I can do whatever I want. You know, and I can be, you know, everybody cheats with me, therefore I have the right to cheat, you know? So I look at that with a sense of humor and sense of comedy about it. And Wario, that anger and, you know, frustration that always makes things come back onto him. So that's how I try to create characters. And, you know, sometimes people in panel discussions, they're young actors and want to be actors, and, you know, the most beautiful part of acting is you get to study yourself, and it's my belief that life is a spiritual journey, and the adventure of self-discovery is a magnificent piece of that as you learn about yourself, you learn also the acting techniques that in every acting technique, every character thinks that he's right. Every character seeks love. Every character is motivated by the same thing, but is flawed with the characteristic of jealousy or trepidation or fear or anger or rage or misinterpretation or something. So you learn for yourself, like, why do I make the choices that I make? Oh yeah, I'm holding on to something from my past, or I'm doing this, or there's my little, you know, not flaw because people aren't flawed, but there's my character chink, my character, the nick out of my fullness and my completeness. So actors get to try to become whole people, get to try to understand themselves and understand the characters, and out of understanding the characters and themselves, hopefully to become better people, you know, which is something I always aspire to do. So I've had a magnificent career of 42 years so far, which is not bad for a guy that wanted to be a lawyer and a diplomat. Being the silliest character I could possibly be all the way through till now. So that's what I do, and that's the absurdity of my life. And I'm happy to take questions from you, questions from any in the audience. I obviously can't talk about future projects or characters being in games or not being in games, or why this or why that, because I really am just a voice actor, you know, and I get paid to go around the world and play and have fun and record. And I'll tell you, it is amazing though, in my career, the changes. I've done voiceover for about, I guess, 30 years. And you know, in the old days, you even went to an audition, you went in a little room with one microphone and 6 actors and everybody read into the same microphone. Then you went to the studio to record, you had 6 microphones set up and everybody recorded their parts and you read together. And today, it's like nobody goes into the agencies anymore. You record it on your phone. I've recorded national commercials for different companies on my cell phone where I used to have $2,000 Sennheiser microphones. Now I have a $300 microphone thanks to Steve Bloom. And I used to go meet all the actors, and I love actors. We're very ridiculous people, and it's wonderful to meet other ridiculous people. And we all know that it's a big gift. But nowadays you just plug your microphone in, and you just instead of going to the agency, reading with these people, laughing, joking, then going to lunch and laughing and joking, and then having a martini and laughing and joking, and then have dinner, and then see each other again the next day, you never see them to audition. And I never see him to work with anymore, because you go in, you do your work, maybe the other actor's in Chicago, maybe the other actor's in Detroit. You don't know where the other actors are, so you never meet except like ships crossing in the night, or at places like this, where I get to meet actors too, and it's so great. So thank you very much again. Your enthusiasm, your joy for these characters lets me come around and meet people that I love, actors, and people like you, people who love the things that we do. So thank you very much. That's what I have to say about that. Who has a question for me? Go ahead. How about Mr. Ninja Turtle?
Can you line up at the microphone?
Oh,
so that
there's a microphone. Yippee! Look at that. Oh, yay. Okay. And then we'll go like tennis. We'll go ping pong, ping pong, pong, pong. Yay! All right, good play pong. That's what I do. That was the first game I ever played.
Me too.
Was it? That's great. It's a fun game.
That was so cool. Let's go over here first.
Okay, we'll go there.
So, you probably get this question a lot, but what's your favorite Mario game you've ever voiced?
What's my favorite Mario game I've ever voiced? That is one of my favorite questions and the most difficult to answer. But because I love absolutely every voice job I've ever done, I've absolutely loved. It's like somebody calls them and says, come and play in our sandbox, we got a bunch of new toys. So I get to go, I go, yippee! And I head on in. But everyone has different memories. To me, I was doing Mario in real-time animation for 5 years, and I got a phone call one day, and it was like, Mr. Miyamoto would like you to play Mario in a game, and I went, yippee! And that was Mario 64. So after improvising for 5 years and really trying to identify very carefully the character, like Mario doesn't say the word no in general. Because I wanted somebody who was always positive, always enthusiastic, always joyful, who faces challenge with, instead of like, oh, no, not again, with a, let's go, come on, So I got to put those all into practice in that session. So that was a magical session for me. And everyone, since Galaxy was amazing. The first time I saw Mario Galaxy, on the screen, I got goosebumps, and Super Mario 3D World, that was such a great, fun session. And, going into, for Mario Odyssey, seeing Cappy and seeing the first, when he goes through the electricity, that was like, I just knew right away it was going to be a magical game. What's your favorite game?
Super Mario Odyssey.
Super Mario Odyssey! Woohoo! Thank you. It's a lovely question. It's just a great game. I was just in the South at a show, and I was staying in a hotel, this beautiful boutique hotel called the Oliver, and the manager's son was 9 years old, and I've been perpetually stuck on this one level. And I said, hey, here, look at this. And he goes, oh, I can get you that. Got me about 5 levels farther, so I'm now doing levels I would never even see, but of course failing.
Okay, so my question is, if you were to imagine yourself doing the voice for any Mega Man Robot Master or Mega Man X Maverick Boss, and like any past games like Mega Man 1 to 10 or Mega Man X 1 to 8, like just who would it be? Otherwise, if you don't know much about the Mega Man series, then otherwise, are you down to voice any Mega Man Robot Master or any Mega Man X Maverick Boss or?
you know, I am so satisfied and so happy with my lot in life. I love doing my Mario characters. It just makes me so happy. And when I go in the door and they say, here's another one, Waluigi. Here's another one, Mario. That just gives me so much joy. And if there's another actor doing a role, I don't do it. You know what I mean? When I did 9 voices in Lord of the Rings. And I didn't realize that there were other actors that could have done those roles, you know. But they also did, at one point, an audition for a TV series that already had actors in it. And I went, no, I don't want to take another actor's job that already has it. So if there's a Mega Man out there that's doing his own that voice, then I wouldn't take it. I'm grateful for what I've got. But that's a lovely question. Thank you. Thank you.
Over here.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm a bit nervous.
Oh yeah, don't worry, it's just me.
Yeah.
I'm just a guy like everybody else.
It's you who?
Yeah, it's just me. It's just me. But I know it's like I used to be really. You know, the amazing thing about me becoming an actor is that when I was in college, I had one magnificent professor, and I decided I was going to write my dissertation. I was going to do all my graduate work. I was going to do all of this thing at UC Berkeley because his final question, the final exam was, you know, what is the nature of man based on your readings of Hobbes, Locke, Rousseau, Voltaire, etc. And then that was A, and 1B was, what is your feeling of the nature of man? And it was the first time I'd ever been asked to think in my entire academic career. And I was just about to finish my senior year at Berkeley. And then I went back for my classes, and the TA that had given me A+++, best paper I've read all year, I went to him, I said, this is so crowded, I've got to get these classes because I can't get you in this class, I'm sorry. And I said, well, if I can't have this class, I'm out. And I quit UC Berkeley. And a friend of mine said, come and take an acting class from me. And I said, Les, there is absolutely no way I could ever stand in front of people. I'm way too shy. And sure enough, the first time I did a monologue, I don't know, he talked me to, because we ate together every day. And I was shaking like this on one foot, so I put my weight on that one. Then this one is shaking like this, and so I put my legs evenly like this, and then they were both shaking like that. Because I was so terrified of people. And now it's like, you know, you just do it enough, and then there it is. You know that people want you to be happy. They want you to, you know, if you're asking a question, they want you to feel good, feel comfortable about it. So feel good and comfortable about it, because everybody here is behind you.
All right, thank you. My question is, so we all know you've been voicing Mario for at least 28 years. And that's probably one of your favorite roles you've ever done. But my question is, what's your favorite voice acting role that wasn't from a Mario series at all?
Well, that's a really good question. You know, I love doing Orvis in Ratchet and Clank, because my friend Sidney Walker had died just that year. A wonderful, wonderful man. You know, rule number 1, have fun. That character, I did the voice based on him because I adored him so much. He was such a wonderful man, and that was a way for me to just keep him a little bit alive in my heart. So that was a great one. But I love everything I do. I'm just a dog chasing a stick. You know, it doesn't matter what the stick is. I just have fun. Thank you. That's a lovely question. Thank you.
No problem.
Sure.
Hello, my name is Vicente Perez. Very big fan of Mario.
Thank you.
My question is, when you first became Mario,
Yeah.
did you realize at the time that Mario was going to be big and famous, or?
You know, I had never heard of Nintendo before. I had never heard of Mario before. So for me, it was like, oh, well, this is fun. And then going to see the games, and they sent me a Super NES, and I pulled it out of the package and I started playing. And I'm like, wow, this is really fun. I gotta do it. And you know, in those days, there was no memory to it. So you die 3 times, you start at the beginning again. And so I did that again and again and again until about 7 o'clock in the morning. And I went, uh-oh. And then I did the same thing with Duck Hunt the next day. So I didn't realize what it would be or how it would have become. And the character of this real-time animation thing was supposed to be a one-off. It was like one Consumer Electronics show. And I had so much fun, and I guess I convinced other people that it was so much fun that they hired me again and again and again and again, until that 5 years into it, I got that phone call. Mr. Miyamoto would like you to play Mario in a game. So I had no idea. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.